Fellow library professionals, esteemed legislators, and beloved community members, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so honored to be speaking with you, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of my experiences at the library. Oh, shoot. The Tewksbury Public Library has been a central fixture in my life since I was a toddler, and I've been so privileged to experience the library as a patron, a volunteer, and an employee. I'd like to give you what I hope will be a brief history of my time at the library. When I was 2, my family moved to Tewksbury from Beverly, so out of Noble and into MVLC, and discovered TPL. Storytime quickly became an event on my social calendar because it was the perfect opportunity to get out of the house and provided free entertainment. Over the next few years, I made too many visits to count to the library after school. Mom would read me picture books until I could read them myself, and eventually I moved on to the easy readers before I finally conquered the chapter books. My first audiobook was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. My mom had picked it out to listen to in the car, and I thought I was too cool for Harry Potter. I was not. It was awesome. An 8-year-old me had just found her first fandom. I have a lot of really great memories of the library. During the summers, my brothers and I would go to family Fridays, like Fairy House Building Day. We would work together to build a tiny hut out of sticks and leaves until they started bickering and I struck out on my own. Robert Hayes was the first person to teach me how to use the catalog, so thank you, Robert. That opened a world of possibilities to me. But I think the memory that stands out most in my mind is playing book bingo during a school open house night at the library. I think I was 11 at the time, and I was always seeing the super cool big kids putting the books away. And I knew that you had to be 13 to be a volunteer, so I asked Miss Noel, can we lower the volunteer age? Because if you never ask, you never know. So she, being as amazing as she is, devised a sort of unofficial volunteer program. So that summer, I started helping out with the Family Friday programs, corralling families and preparing crafts. I really honed my face painting skills over the next few years, so if you have any face painting opportunities, just call me. And eventually, I joined the prestigious ranks of the shelvers. In 2016, I got my first real job when I was hired here as a page. I'm proud to say I passed the shelving test with flying colors. I did a few calculations, and I estimate that I've shelved over 100,000 materials in the past 2.5 years. It's been a long time. I have a party trick that I do where I ask someone to give me a 3-digit number, and I tell them what the subject is for that number in the Dewey Decimal System. I don't get invited to a lot of parties. I don't know where I could ever find a better education in customer service or interacting with the public. I get a really unique perspective on the library because I'm constantly in the stacks, on the front lines with the patrons, and I have seen a lot. On any given day, adults come in to read the newspaper or work on our community puzzle. Grad students do research and write papers. I know a girl who spent every single day of last summer studying upstairs in the adult section for the MCAT, and I really hope she passed. Our quiet study rooms are open to everyone from high schoolers working on homework and projects to legislators hosting office hours. The computers are open for public use. A teacher at the high school recently told me that a boy in one of his classes visits the library every day to do his homework because he doesn't have internet access at home. We recently started a partnership with our middle school down the street to have a bus run a few days a week to the library. Every Tuesday, a group of 7th grade girls come to hang out in our new teen space. They do their homework and they gossip, and it's adorable, and I really wish I had had that opportunity when I was their age. Around the same time, we host a job seekers network in this room where people can get career advice and work on their interview skills. This isn't your grandma's library anymore, except it is because we have so many great senior programs. Our newest addition to the library is a yellow belly slider turtle named Hardcover. You might have seen him on Twitter. He has way more followers than I do. When kids come into the children's room, they no longer run right to the computers or the iPad because they want to say hi to Hardcover. If there's anything I've learned in my time at the Tewksbury Public Library, it's that libraries are the most community-oriented spaces in the public sphere. The library doesn't discriminate. It doesn't judge you on your ability to pay or your citizenship status. It's one of the last places where community members from every walk of life can be together without barriers. With over 2 million available items throughout the library system, we're promoting equal access to knowledge and, consequently, opportunity. I'm a really big Aaron Sorkin fan. I love The West Wing, but I also like one of his lesser-known shows, which was called Sports Night. It aired in the 90s. So I ordered it through the Commonwealth catalog, so thank you, Norfolk Public Library. It arrived here within a week through our delivery system, and I loved it. And finally, I got to the last episode, which is titled Quo Vadis. And as a Latin student, I can tell you that that means, where are we going? I think about that phrase, quo vadis, a lot, and I hope you will too. And I hope that together we are going into the new age of libraries. Thank you.